Hello everyone, it's 925 and villains are awesome. And you know who one type of villains are awesome? Comic book villains. There are so many comic book villains in the world that were good, but I had to choose 10. And these villains, and just to say through a rule, these villains can be from both the DC comic book era and the Marvel comic book era. So, now let's begin. Number 10, Doc Ock. Now, this guy, he made robotic arms that allowed him for robotic arms that could do whatever he wanted, that were super strong, which allowed him to break into banks, kill doctors, and cause trouble for our friendly neighborhood, Spider-Man. Once he when his wife died, he became very mad. He used to be a scientist for good, but when he tried to invent a death machine, then Spider-Man tried to stop him, but his wife died in the process. So with Doc Ock got obsessed with revenge and power. So, anyway, let's move on. Number 9, Red Skull. Now, this was Captain America's arch enemy. He's basically a Nazi. He's basically Adolf Hitler. He was pretending to be Chancellor Hitler, but then it turned out he had red skin, and he was a Nazi leader, and is a very challenging foe for Captain America, and trying to make an atomic bomb, and the only way, he set a bomb, but Captain America threw his shield at him, making him fall into the ocean, which was the end of Red Skull. Moving on, number 8, Kingpin. Now, the best gangster comic book villain. A lot of people know him as the arch enemy of Daredevil, but he first caused trouble for Spider-Man too. And he was a very strong guy. He was a gangster leader. And you see, in one line he says that his body is 2% fat, but 350% of his body is muscle. Jesus. It's like he nearly killed. Kingpin helped the Green Goblin, and when Spidey tried to attack Gobby, Kingpin took Spider-Man and nearly squashed the web slinger. Moving on. Number 7, Galactus from the Fantastic Four. He is a god. Now, he is basically a big god. He's the closest to godlike. And he's a very huge foe. First appearing, he was I think the Fantastic Four, or like adversary. He's a huge villain and has very super strength. So he's a very or maybe it's Silver Surfers like the enemy. I don't remember. I haven't read the comic books in a while, but still, he's a very strong foe, and has been causing trouble for our heroes ever since. Moving on, number 6, Mandarin. Well, in one line in the movie, he says, "People call me a terrorist. I consider myself a teacher." You see, he's Iron Man's arch enemy. His parents both died. One time, his parents both died, but his aunt took him in, and when his aunt died, it was just too great a shock for him, and he became a villain, and he was obsessed with killing, you know who, Iron Man. So he's been known as Iron Man's arch nemesis, and a very strong one. Now let's move on. Number 5, Doctor Doom. Now this is the Fantastic Four's arch nemesis. He was affected by a disease, and which made him able to control a magnetic field, kind of like Magneto, only a little different. But still, he's a genius who is obsessed with power and will do anything to get what he wants and destroy the Fantastic Four. Moving on. Number 4, Loki from Thor. Now this one is Thor's brother. But Thor uses his powers for good. Loki uses his powers for bad, and he is a trickster and will do anything to get his way. Trying in Dark World, he helps Loki, but then he gets stabbed and Thor thinks he's dead, but he was really faking it. But it turns out he was really faking it. And so Loki could be back in the next movie. Who knows? I sure hope he'll be back. He'll probably be the main villain in the movie. Probably. Moving on. Number 3, the Green Goblin. Now this guy, you see, he was an experiment gone wrong. He was in an experiment when it went wrong, and he was obsessed with power, and he used a suit and a glider, and he's been causing trouble for our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Definitely Spider-Man's strongest rival. He even killed Spidey's girlfriend, Gwen Stacy. And in the end, like in the movie, Gobby gets impaled with his own glider. So let's number 2, Lex Luthor from Superman. This is now he considers himself the greatest criminal mind. Because when he actually killed Lois Lane, he's been known as Superman's arch enemy, and he set up 2 missiles to go out into the state and go off to Lois Lane. Superman can obviously go both at once, but even though he can't get both missiles, makes no bloody sense. Since if he can fast enough to go around the whole fucking planet, I'm pretty sure he can get. Why couldn't he get both missiles then? Makes no logical sense. But still, Lex Luthor is a very strong villain, and I can see why he considers himself the greatest criminal mind. Now, number 1, the Joker. Was there any doubt? The Joker was a gangster, but he fell into chemicals, making him have white skin, and he swore he wanted revenge on Batman. He's been causing crime to Gotham City ever since. Who's your favorite Marvel villain? Leave a comment in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up if you like this video. Leave a thumbs down if you hated it. I'm Real Day 25, and I'll see you later.